So you want to drive at the airport, do you?
Operating a vehicle safely in the Airport Operations Area, or AOA, can be challenging. It is a choreographed dance between man and machine. There's a wide array of equipment all trying to move together at the same time. There's aircraft of all types: airplanes, taxiing, taking off, landing, being towed. There's helicopters, there's balloons trying to land. There are refuelers, belt loaders, baggage carts, tugs, lab service trucks, catering trucks, golf carts, trash trucks, de-icers, emergency equipment like fire, rescue, and medical. Airport ops, there can be construction equipment, maintenance vehicles, utility vehicles, carts that you push and pull, helicopter dollies and lab service carts, ground power units. You've got transportation like personal cars and shuttle buses and suspicious vehicles, bicycles, couriers, delivery trucks, tractor trailers, snow removal equipment, forklifts, sweepers, lawnmowers. I think you get the picture. And when you add into the mix the pressure of schedules, weather, nighttime operations, things can get pretty dangerous if you're not on top of your driving game.
Now, the FAA has established a system of signage, markings, and lighting that communicate nonverbally to aircraft and ground vehicles to create an environment that's safe and organized. Every airport has its own driver's program. Depending on where you work and what your position is, will determine your access.
The whole airport is communicating things, whether that be the signage, directing vehicles, directing aircraft, or the markings that are on taxiways, roadways, runways, specific lighting colors, blue for taxiways, white on the runways, approach lights for pilots, so on and so forth. The windsock is communicating wind direction to help a pilot land correctly.
It's all communication. That's why it's so important.
Okay, best practices for driving. At an airport, right-of-way is given to aircraft operating under their own power or being towed. They have the right-of-way. That's typically followed by fuel trucks because they're fuel trucks. Emergency vehicles supersede, though, in responding to an emergency. So if you're in a fuel truck and a fire truck has to come by, obviously the fire truck has the right-of-way. It's common sense. Any vehicle you're going to operate at the airport, you want to make sure you know how to operate, you know how to drive it, you know the controls, you're checked out on it. Don't just jump on something and go for it. Make sure you understand how to use it in relationship to an aircraft. You could end up damaging an aircraft, endangering people's lives, endangering your own. You want to drive defensively. Drive aware, very aware. Drive without distraction. Don't be texting and driving, especially at the airport. There's so many things moving. Obey the speed limits. Typically 15 miles an hour I've seen everywhere. And then when you're approaching aircraft or people, you better slow it down to 5 miles per hour, okay? Do your walk around, you make sure that your lights are working, safety lights, your brakes, you're gonna check once you start driving, give it a brake check. Vehicle with no brakes or bad brakes, take it out of service. A good practice is braking when you're approaching an aircraft. Check your brakes at 50 feet, check them again at the 10-foot mark. Just make sure you're gonna stop. Be aware of where you can drive, where you can't.
A lot of vehicles in an airplane like to crash Delta to the left. State 1 and company here proceed as requested.
Be aware of where the airplanes are moving, where the other vehicles are moving, where people are moving. Don't cut the jet bridge. Don't cut the walkways where people are. Safety diamond, an invisible diamond around an airplane in which we want to keep non-necessary equipment out. Obviously, sometimes you have to pull into a diamond, belt loaders and caterers, fuel trucks and that sort of thing. However, when I'm pulling up with a pickup truck or another vehicle, park outside the diamond, I park my vehicle facing away from the airplane. In case, for some strange chance, it does roll, and it does happen, we want the vehicle to go away from the airplane. So basically, a safety diamond, if you were to take it from the nose
to the wingtip, these cones here, the wingtip to the tail, another cone, from the tail to the other wingtip, and that wingtip back to the nose. There's your diamond. As you can see by my awesome drawing here, and that's me, and that's my truck. And that's a safety diamond. Good practice, best practice.
You want to shut off a vehicle, set the parking brake on a vehicle, chalk a vehicle. No opportunity for it to roll away. When you're backing up, it's always good to have a spotter so you don't have a blind spot, so you don't hit anything, so you don't kill anybody. If for some reason you're in the middle of a fuel spill, leave your equipment running. Don't shut it off. Don't start up anything. Just leave it the way it is. You don't want to create a spark. Here is the biggie. If you damage something, if you run into something, if you scratch something, you have to tell somebody. Because you may think it's not a big deal, but what do you know? It could be a very, very big deal. Don't try to hide your damage. You're just gonna have to suck it up and be embarrassed, but it's better to be embarrassed than to kill somebody. Is that common sense? Okay, so tell people, tell your supervisor, I did this by accident, and if it's complete negligence, you're gonna get fired anyways.
You're fired. What? Get out of here.
No piggybacking. What is piggybacking? Sneaking in a gate behind somebody else. Everyone, especially in a SITA area, has to slide their own card at an entrance, at a security area, gate, or a door, the ramp. You can't just follow somebody in or drive behind somebody. You get in trouble for that. Slide your own card, and that's it. Don't let people in either. Don't be a piggyback promoter, a piggyback allower. Ain't happening, pal. You're in trouble. No piggybackers.
Foreign object debris before it becomes
Foreign object damage.
The FAA definition of FOD, or foreign object debris, is any object, live or not, located in an inappropriate location in the airport environment that has the capacity to injure airport or air carrier personnel and damage aircraft. In other words, stuff on the ground that doesn't belong there. Things that can damage aircraft and equipment and hurt or even kill people.
FOD causes $4 billion a year in damage.
Come on, are you serious?
There's so many different moving parts to the airport every day. It's inevitable that something is going to be left on the ramp or on the runways, the taxiways.
Most airports have a FOD awareness or control program. It's everyone's responsibility to always be on the lookout for FOD and to take care of it. Pick it up, get rid of it.
It's everybody's job to pick up FOD.
That doesn't even rhyme.
Yeah, it does.